Hello, hello. Welcome to today's business meeting. I'm Jen Glantz. I am one of two of the hosts of this show. The other host is Molly Beck, and she is not here today for a very special and good reason. Today's her birthday, and when it's your birthday, I feel like you shouldn't have to go to work. I feel like that should be a mandatory law of a company that you get the day of your birthday off, or if your birthday's on a weekend, you get that Monday or your Friday off, but like you shouldn't be working on your birthday. And this is a business meeting. So I said to Molly, take the freaking day off. And I hope she's doing something fun. We miss her dearly. In honor of it being her birthday today, I chose two stories that I think she would have chosen. And I want to make her proud. So we're going to do those stories in a little bit. But this is my first time solo co-hosting this show. I'm so excited. I really wanted to kind of take you through an unboxing of the newspaper, of the Wall Street Journal, just like Molly. Molly and I are super old school. We still get the Wall Street Journal physical copy of the newspaper delivered to our houses every single day. It's one of my most favorite things. It's not that expensive to get, and it's just so worth it because it allows me to spend 15, 20 minutes reading the whole paper without looking at my phone and going on social media. It's just a great way to be offline. So we both get the paper delivered to our doors every single day. However, Molly has an actual front door. So she can go out her front door, grab the newspaper. It's there for her. Great. I live in a zoo. I live in Brooklyn. I live in an apartment building. And well, when they drop off the newspaper, I think people think it's like fair game. So I think they drop it off at like 5:15, 5:20 a.m. And if you're not down there between 5:20 and let's say like 6, the newspaper will be absolutely gone. So there's some mornings where I'll wake up at like the 5 o'clock hour, or my husband Adam will, and whoever's eyes open first, I'm like, you have to get downstairs right now. Friday is my favorite issue of the Wall Street Journal because it's the real estate section, and I love that section. It's called Mansion section because it talks about like all these fancy homes, and I live for that section. And 9 out of 10 times the Friday paper is stolen and it's not there, and I get so upset. So my big plan today was to go downstairs, get the physical newspaper, and walk you through it. But when I went downstairs at like 6:45, a little late today, it was gone. And I'm thinking to myself, like, who is stealing a newspaper? Like, obviously, people who live in this building, they're mostly adults, right? Like, they realize that to get a newspaper, you have to order the newspaper and pay for the newspaper. It's not just fair game. There's 3 people in this entire apartment building who order the newspaper. There's 2 of us who order the Wall Street Journal, and there's 1 person who orders the New York Post. It says the person's name on the top of the newspaper. So my Wall Street Journal will say Jen Glantz, my apartment number. Theirs will say their name. So when you're grabbing a newspaper, you have to realize like, hey, I'm taking this away from a person. Like, it just boggles my mind. Even though I'm a big newspaper lover, like I would never go to someone's doorstep and steal a newspaper. So anyway, I want to write a letter to management. I want to put a sign down there like, please stop stealing the newspaper. But I'm not sure if it's even worth it, or if that's just a part of being in New York City, is that people take things that aren't theirs, and I have to get over this newspaper thing. I feel like the building has bigger issues than like whoever is stealing the newspaper. So not sure how to handle it. But yeah, the newspaper wasn't there this morning. I checked everywhere. I checked like in all different spots. Not there. So I'm pretty sure somebody took it. So I have some digital stories that I found instead. So we will kick things off. This episode is dedicated to Molly. Happy birthday to you. I love you. I hope you have the best day, the best year ahead. And I can't wait to see you back on business meeting. We're going to start off with one of my Molly stories. So Molly has said this multiple times. She's a Starbucks lover. Molly has a Starbucks in her town where she lives. She goes there. I'm not going to blow up her spot, but she goes there at least once a day, okay? If she doesn't go to Starbucks physically, she usually has Starbucks pre-made coffee in her fridge that she drinks. She loves her Starbucks. Even when she came to New York City, she drank a lot of coffee, and I saw her with at least one Starbucks also. So the girl loves Starbucks. My first story that I came across is around pumpkin spice season starting early. So pumpkin spice is obviously a very popular fall flavor, and Starbucks was the original company that launched, or they at least helped turn it into a phenomenon. So in 2003, so this is a very long time ago, like over 20 years ago, they helped turn PSL, Pumpkin Spice Latte, into a cultural phenomenon. Hundreds of millions of these drinks have been sold since. Fun fact for you is the original pumpkin spice latte didn't even contain real pumpkin. It had pumpkin probably flavoring, but they have since added pumpkin puree from 2015 on. So God knows what you were drinking from 2003 until 2015. But in 2003, they turned this into a holiday flavor. It got a lot of love. People wait for this all year. And it's October. Like fall to me is what, starting in late September to October. Every single year, Starbucks bumps forward when they start offering their pumpkin spice lattes. It's usually reported that August 25th is when they start to put out their fall drinks, like their pumpkin spice latte. However, the drama, the news of the day is that another coffee chain is beating them to the punch. La Colombe, they have a lot of La Colombes in New York City. They're like these little fancy coffee shops, kind of like, I don't know what you'd expect if like you're just going to grab a coffee, stand at like a little bar stool, talk to a friend. People aren't really sitting there doing work. They're not camping out there. It doesn't have the cozy feeling of Starbucks. To be honest, I didn't even know they had flavored drinks. Like to me, La Colombe is just like very straightforward. It's like, get your latte, get your espresso, get the heck out of here. But the coffee chain brought back its pumpkin spice draft latte, which means it's on draft, starting August 4th. So that was last week. It's the earliest launch ever and about 3 weeks earlier than pumpkin spice. So why the heck are they doing this? Well, if you're a pumpkin spice person, you are waiting the whole year for this drink. Like you're probably waiting from November, December when they stop selling this drink all the way until October for this drink to come out again. So if these chains can offer it earlier, obviously they're going to make more money. They're going to drive more sales. 70% of Americans look forward to pumpkin spice season. I'll be real with you. I had never had a pumpkin spice latte in my life. I'm not a coffee drinker anymore. I'm now a decaf girly. But when I used to get coffee, like I used to just get plain unflavored coffee with a little bit of milk in it, just because like I don't really want to have a lot of sugar and I don't really like the taste of these flavored drinks. But last year, I was hanging out with a mom and her child and my child. We had like a little mom-daughter date. And she's like, let's go get a pumpkin spice latte. And it was a new friend. And I didn't want to kill the vibe. I didn't want her to be like, who's this loser that doesn't want to try a pumpkin spice latte? So I was like, yes, let's get one. I've never had one before. Let's do it. I just didn't want to kill the vibe. So we both ordered decaf pumpkin spice lattes. And I had like 1 or 2 sips of it. And I thought, it's just not for me. I just couldn't get behind it. Didn't like the taste. But I couldn't throw the drink out because that would be, again, like, I feel like she would just be like, you are a weirdo who doesn't like a pumpkin spice latte. So I pretended to sip the drink for like 45 freaking minutes until she threw hers out and then I threw mine out. So I'm not a pumpkin spice latte girly. Do I think it's wild to have the drink released August 4th at La Colombe? Yeah, I do. I went to the dollar store this weekend and they already have Halloween decorations up and it made me feel so crazy. Like I love Halloween. I love fall, but like it is just August. And can August just breathe? Like I know the dollar store thrives on selling seasonal items, but sell back to school stuff, sell generic stuff. Seeing Halloween decorations just triggered me, mostly because I live in such a small apartment and I love decorating for Halloween, but I don't have any storage space for decorations. So I cannot start buying these Halloween decorations at the dollar store until the end of September. Like I just can't. I can't store them anywhere. I don't deal with clutter. So I think I was secretly like a little bit like, ugh, why are they putting it out so early? But also like I feel like we need to let seasons breathe, let our lives breathe a little bit more and not just go from holiday to holiday to holiday so fast. So yeah, I think it's probably a smart business decision for these places to release the coffee drink so early. but it totally makes me feel like the year goes by so fast, and I feel like they're just making it go by faster. My second story for Molly, because we all know Molly is our resident fast food expert. She is a girly who will test new fast food things. She has her favorites. This story is for Molly. Burger King just beat out Wendy's as the number two burger chain in America by sales, knocking Wendy's down to number 3 for the first time in 6 years. Now, I don't have to tell you. I think you can guess who the number 1 burger chain is in America. It's McDonald's. And it's not only number 1 by a little bit, it's number 1 by a huge margin. So we have McDonald's up here, and for the past 6 years, Wendy's has been next, followed by Burger King. But this year, we switch places. It's McDonald's, and then it's Burger King. This was fascinating to me because, again, I'm not your fast food expert. I don't even know the last time I had a bite of fast food. I would have thought that it would have gone McDonald's and Burger King just because you hear about Burger King more, you see Burger King more. I didn't know that Wendy's had such a big market share and that sales-wise, it was number 2 over Burger King. But they bumped them down. Burger King same-store sales jumped 8.5 last quarter, whereas Wendy's fell 7%. So it seems like the two of them are pretty neck and neck. There's not that much of a margin. Burger King is trying to make a huge comeback. We heard Molly talk about it a couple of days ago. They have the Reclaim the Flame strategy. They're trying to turn it around. They have expanded to a $700 million investment through 2028 for remodels, technology upgrades, equipment, marketing to try to get them back up to top of mind. Burger King is just something that I never really think about. I mean, I live in New York City. You see McDonald's everywhere. I don't know when the last time I saw a Wendy's was. You see Burger Kings, I feel like mostly in the train stations, like Penn Station might have a Burger King, but there's not a lot of like Burger King stores that I personally see. But yeah, they're trying to tweak the Whopper to make that have a good comeback. Molly had a great idea, which was like to target more, I believe she said like Gen Z customers, maybe do some more partnerships to try to get them back on the map. But I think it's going to be hard because McDonald's just does a great job of being McDonald's. They do a great job of these partnerships, working with celebrities, new product innovations, trying new things. Like they're trying the dirty soda thing for a little bit. They're working hard, and I think it's really hard. I think it would take a miracle to beat them as number 1, but to get the number 2 spot, because Wendy's and Burger King are so neck and neck, they need to do something to differentiate themselves to really widen that gap between them. So that one is for you, Molly. I'm curious to know what you think about that. I was mostly shocked that Wendy's was so neck and neck. Like I thought maybe it would be Chick-fil-A. I don't know, like, again, in New York City, we have a couple Chick-fil-A's and there's always lines outside the door. Like Chick-fil-A is a popular one. Raising Cane is a popular one in New York City that people will line up for. But Wendy's, I don't know. Like, again, I guess this is just a New York City bubble I'm in, that like in the other parts of the country, this might not be the same. But I'm curious to know what other people say. Like, are you shocked that Wendy's was number 2 for a while? Or does that make sense to you? My next story is the 10 hottest zip codes for home buyers in 2026. So these are the hottest zip codes. These are where people are trying to move. They want to move. The number 1 most popular place that people want to move right now is Peabody, Massachusetts. This is apparently near or outside of Boston. Again, Molly is our resident Massachusetts expert. That's where she's from. So I'm curious to know what she would think about Peabody. But the median listing in that town is $600,000. So that they were number 1. Now, of the list of 10, there are 3 places in New Jersey that are the hottest zip codes. We have Montclair, we have Sewell, and we have Fairport, which is actually in New York. So Montclair is number 2 on the list. The median home price is $1.05 million for a home. I live in New York City, live in Brooklyn, and Montclair, to people who want to move to a suburb, is like the hottest spot. You hear so many people talking about why they want to move there. They say it feels a little bit like Brooklyn. They have a small downtown. It's a great commuter town into New York City. So just living here, I've heard so much buzz about Montclair, New Jersey. But for the average price to be $1 million for a home, like that's insane. I know people who have moved there who have paid like 1.5, almost 2 million. And the homes have like one bathroom. They're tiny. They're kind of beat up. Like, it's so competitive to get a house there that people are willing to take anything they can find, even if it doesn't suit their lifestyle, even if it's more than their budget, just because they want to move there. Other places are Westfield, Massachusetts, Livenoa, Michigan, Lititz, Pennsylvania, North Haven, Connecticut, New Berlin, Wisconsin, and Wheaton, Illinois. That is your list of 10 of the hottest zip codes. The cheapest place to live is Lenovia, Michigan at $338,000, and the most expensive is Montclair. What do you think? I'm from Florida. I'm actually super surprised that Florida isn't on that list, because I think since the pandemic, a lot of people have been moving to Florida. For a while, you can get a lot of space there for a really cheap price. So I'm really shocked that there's no Florida on the list. It's also really shocking to me that all of these 10 places are either in the Northeast or the Midwest. Like, what about Austin? What about places in California? Interesting. So apparently, all of these places are in the Northeast or the Midwest for the fourth year in a row. So for the past 4 years, there's been no place on the West Coast, no place in the South. Like, it's just been the Northeast and the Midwest. I wonder if the cost of living is less in some of these places, or there's more access to bigger cities. Like, curious to know what the reason is. The final story I have kind of affects Molly and I as creators. We run this show on a couple of different platforms. We live stream this show on YouTube, on Substack, hopefully more places soon. And then we post clips of the show on YouTube Shorts, on Instagram, on Pinterest, on TikTok. So we take this show, we chop it up, we put it everywhere, and we love doing that. But YouTube, which is one of our favorite platforms, they're really good to us, is now making it twice as hard to make money. So they're raising the bar for creators. Starting next February, new creators will need 8,000 hours of watch time over the course of the year to be able to run ads. Or if you're a YouTube short creator, you'll need 20 million qualified short views in 90 days to have access to the partner program and run ads. That's a lot. I love YouTube shorts. I love watching them. I love posting on them. I mean, sometimes we'll get like 1,000 something views, but to get 20 million views in 90 days, that's crazy. Like, it was 10 million, now it's 20 million. It makes it super, super hard to do. Also, getting people to watch 8,000 hours of your content in a year is a lot to ask, is a lot of metrics to get. Basically, they're doing this because they already say they have plenty of creators who are making money, so they want to kind of up the stakes for new creators. It's hard. I get why they're doing this, but there are some people who are creators and they are making a good sizable chunk of income from these platforms. I will say it is very hard to do. For a while, I was trying to make some money on TikTok by posting videos, but like, it's not that easy. And then when you make money, like, you're not making a ton of money. Like, I feel like one month I had millions and millions of views and I made like $20, which again is great. I'm happy to have the $20, but to make sizable income on these platforms, you need to have like millions and millions of views. And that's really, really hard. But that is not to discourage you. The reason why we post on these platforms is because we're hoping to get more viewers, more subscribers, more people who like this show. We're also hoping to get some advertisers of our own, because we can use these platforms to distribute our content, but we can earn income totally on our own that we own from advertisers. For example, if someone wanted to pay us to have their product, we would talk about the product, we would eat the product, use the product on the show, and the money we'd make from that is all our money, and we can charge however much we want. It doesn't have to go through YouTube or Substack or Instagram. So that's to say, if you're a creator, don't get discouraged by this story. Instead, just realize, like, yeah, it might be harder to actually generate income from the platform directly, but there's still other ways that you can. And those ways are beautiful because you own those ways, you negotiate those ways, you don't have to split those ways with the actual platform. So that's pretty awesome too. All right, my loves, that's all the stories that I have for you. If you know where you can find Molly Beck on the internet, wish her a freaking happy birthday. You only get one birthday a year, and I hope that she's having such a good day. We'll be back again soon with another business meeting. I hope you all enjoy your